Today, I'm going to talk to you about the CKX Atlas helmet, but instead of just rambling on for 20 minutes reading a spec sheet off the website, I'm going to tell you what it's like to actually live with this thing. The good, the bad, and whether it's worth the $700 price tag. Let's go. If you haven't heard, CKX is a Canadian company who started off on the sledding side of things, and they've been transitioning into our world, creating one of the most versatile helmets that's out there. Now the helmet itself, it's made out of carbon composite material, making it nice and light, weighing right around 1,500 grams. Now the only good comparison I could come up with, being a Canadian, is this weighs as much as about 9 hockey pucks. So the helmet size ranges from extra small all the way up to 3XL. So it's almost guaranteed that it's going to be able to fit your head. Unless you have a head like Stewie Griffin here, then you're shit out of luck. The visor is a self-tinting photochromic shield, which is one of my favorite features on this helmet. It automatically darkens in the sun and clears up when the light fades, so you're not constantly swapping visors or reaching for sunglasses. Now, the field of view from this visor, it's pretty insane. You're almost guaranteed when your buddy goes by and eats shit, you're gonna be able to see it out of your peripherals. That's a double thumbs up. Pair this helmet up with their 210 goggles that they sell separately, and now you got two different personalities. You got the adventure rider, and you got the dual sporter. It's best of both worlds. And the beauty thing about this too is these goggles can go inside and the visor will close over top of them without interfering as well. Now this sun visor, wind visor, whatever you want to call it, it's one of those features that make a big deal that you don't even realize. It has two different positions, and this little flappy thing here actually extends out. And what I find this is ideal for is when you're riding and you get that sunlight that really hits just the top of your eyes there, and sometimes you're kind of bending your head down to get rid of it, this little flappy thing and the visor tilted down hits it perfectly. No more squinting, and yes, it does have the self-tinting and that helps, but there's still times when it hits you in the eyes, right? This thing is amazing. It does a great job. Now let's say you're riding highway for a little bit and you want to take the visor off just to get a little bit better airflow going through, or you want to take the visor off and put the goggles on just separately. They've done a great job at making these quick release buttons that actually take it off in no time. Tilt it up, pop it out, click, and it comes off like that. I'm making this look difficult, but it's really easy. There we go. And we're back on. It is child-proof, so there is that. So basically no tools needed, just a couple pushes of a button, and once you figure out actually how to do it properly, unlike myself, it's pretty simple. Check this out. Now, I already know what you're thinking. This looks like one of those things that you might find at a truck stop, if you know what I mean, but it really makes a lot of sense when you're on the trail. When you're riding, you can have your backpack on, pop it open, take a sip of water, or even if you just want some more airflow going through, it's perfect. Or the guy can't hear you and you're tired of yelling, pop it open, you can speak normally. With 5 adjustable ventilation ports, staying cool in this helmet hasn't been an issue. I've been riding this thing in 45-degree weather. Yeah, I was sweating buckets, but let's be honest, at 45 degrees Celsius, that's not a helmet problem. That's a, why am I voluntarily sitting on a motorcycle right now problem. Once the bike was moving, the airflow through this helmet, it was pretty impressive. You can actually feel the air moving through it, which makes a huge difference when you're riding slow technical trails or spending all day in the saddle. Now, if you are wondering about wind noise with this helmet, the way I have it set up right now is definitely more for summertime, so I am getting a lot more wind through the helmet. I have taken out the paddings that go in here, so that would stop a lot of the buffering. So I can't give you the greatest call on that. I'm just going off of my summertime mode right now. So yeah, you're gonna get some airflow. Strongly suggest wearing earplugs. If you don't, that makes a huge difference, especially if you're doing a long motocamping trip or just a full day event. Now, comfort with the helmet. That's kind of important, right? It's pretty important. Now, when I first got this helmet, one of my first rides I went motocamping with, and the first stretch that we did was about 14 hours. So I had this helmet on for a good chunk of that. And I can tell just from that one ride, there's no weird pressure points, nothing pinching me that feels all weird, except for one thing, which I'll get to in a second. But overall, it's very comfortable. You almost forget that it's on yourself. When you do get a helmet, you kind of want one that, to you, you feel like it looks good. This helmet right here, this looks pretty good. I feel like a complete badass with it, if I'm being honest. Throw this down, tinted, ready to go. I mean, look at this. I mean, come on. Look at it, work it. It's a pretty sharp looking helmet. I'm just saying, look good, play good. Now, like anything, it's not gonna be perfect. There are a few issues that I found with this. It might be just a personality thing, might not be. But number one is this chin strap right here. It's a quick release, it works very well. I like it rather than the kind of D-loops. But the problem I had was this thing right here, this is pretty thick metal, it feels like. When I was on my 14-hour long road trip, what happened was that was hitting my chin and the bottom of my neck every time I looked down a little bit. So first couple hours, you know, not that big a deal, but when you do a full day in the saddle like that, it started getting pretty aggravating. Now, I will say this, since then, I've been out quite a few more times with it. I haven't had that issue again. So was that a not doing it too tight, doing it too loose? I don't know, but maybe it's one of those things I'm just kind of getting used to now. But just be aware, so maybe get into the store, try one of these on and see if it's gonna be bothering you. It did for me. So that's just kind of one knock anyways. The goggles are great, they work great, they're pretty slick. The problem I'm having is that you have to buy this extra. Now, they could just sell it with the helmet and kind of bump the price up a little bit. But I think if you're paying just shy of $1,000, throwing the goggles in like this, that might be a nice little bonus as well. That's just me, maybe that's my cheap side talking, but having to buy something extra on top of it, and you don't have to buy it, you definitely don't, but having the two personalities, I kind of just wish it came with the helmet. Again, personal thing. So I created a little scorecard for this helmet. Now, if you own one of these, let me know if you agree or think I'm way off, because I'm curious to hear what other riders think. Comfort, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. After spending some really long days in this helmet, including almost 14 hours, it still feels great. No major pressure points aside from that chin strap. And honestly, there's times I forget I'm even wearing it. While it isn't the absolute lightest on the market, it's still pretty darn light. It's actually very comparable to my old Climb Krios. And for a helmet that gives you so much versatility, I'm impressed with the weight. This is probably the category that's gonna get the most debate, but I'll be fair, this score is probably a little skewed. I can't speak English, my God. The score is probably a little skewed because of how this helmet is set up. I've opened it up for maximum airflow during summer, which does come with a little more wind noise. But with earplugs though, it's really a non-issue. Ventilation, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10, because why not? Now visibility, this one's easy. The field of view on this helmet is incredible. The visor is huge and it gives you so much peripheral vision, you almost forget you're looking through a helmet. Overall value, I'm putting this right at 9 out of 10. Is it a climb? No. Is it an array? It's not, but it doesn't need to be. The features that this helmet brings to the table, the tinted visor, the ability to run goggles, the ventilation, the huge field of view, and the ability to basically transform between adventure riding and dual sport riding, really sets it apart. So is this the perfect adventure helmet? Maybe. It's pretty darn close if you ask me. CKX has done something very cool with this helmet. They pretty much listened to what we need and they pooped out a baby. And this is what it showed up. That's a terrible analogy. I don't think I'll use that one, but you get what I mean. So if you guys are interested, I am going to throw a couple links down in the description. Unfortunately, you don't get any discounts or anything like that. I'm not that cool. But it'll take you over to the website and you can kind of look for yourself and see if this is interesting to you and maybe you want to buy it. But for a rider like myself with my adventure bike and hopefully soon to be dual sport, a helmet like this is just perfect. No need to have two. One sets it up. Dual personalities. I don't know. I just love that. But let me know in the comments, is there a certain helmet that you guys are running that you said, no, this is the perfect adventure riding and maybe dual sport helmet out there? I'd love to hear. I like hearing everyone's responses. So hopefully you got some good information about this. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, share, comment, whatever you can. Ride safe, stay dirty. Dirt bike tires, what? Street helmets. Oh, wow. Visor is a self-tinting. Wow. Come on. Wow. Almost had it. This has two different positions. Ooh. Oh God. What did I do? I was absolutely sweating. I'd love to hear. I like hearing everyone's responses.